This week's study focuses on the consequences of humanity's fall and contrasts earthly government with God's rule, drawing from the prophetic books of Daniel and Revelation. This study challenges the belief that God intended for humanity to fall into sin in order to demonstrate His love through Jesus' sacrifice. This view is flawed because the fall of humanity was never God's plan. The rebellion of Satan and humanity was a tragic result of free will. And while God foresaw it, it was never His intention for humanity to suffer. The peace, joy, and fulfillment that could have existed under God's perfect governance were lost due to human disobedience. Genesis 2:16-17 introduces the first command given to humanity, the prohibition against eating from the tree of knowledge of good and evil. This command was not just a restriction, but a protective measure to prevent humanity from suffering the consequences of certain knowledge. Some knowledge, like understanding sin, brings pain, and God wanted to shield His people from that. This idea is further explored in Israel's history, where the people asked for a king, rejecting God's rule. And as a result, they endured the consequences of human governance, corrupt kings, and increasing suffering. The study then turns to the visions in Daniel 2 and 7, which reveal the rise and fall of world empires. Daniel 2's statue of various metal symbolizes the decline of earthly kingdoms, starting with Babylon as the golden head and progressing through silver, bronze, and iron. The final mixture of iron and clay represents weak, undivided empires. The visions highlight the failure of human governance to provide lasting peace. Daniel 7 represents beasts rising from the sea, symbolizing the turmoil and conflict inherent in human kingdoms, contrasting with the peace God intended. Despite the occasional peace in some nations, history is marked by oppressive regimes. In contrast, God's eternal kingdom, promised in prophecy, will be free from sin, suffering, and death. Revelation 10 offers hope with the vision of an angel holding a little book, symbolizing the revival of Christ's truth. This message, carried to all nations, will ultimately establish God's eternal kingdom, replacing human rule. In conclusion, the study highlights the tragic consequences of rejecting God's governance and the failure of human kingdoms to bring lasting peace. God's eternal kingdom will triumph, bring justice, and fulfillment. God bless you.